Well, I'm sitting in the Central Market having a coffee and thought about a lot of the questions being asked of me in terms of what preferences and what are my ideals and campaign ideas. And it's really quite hard after 20 years in politics to work out exactly what's important to me the most at any one particular time. And I mean, there's different things, isn't there? There's the issues to do with our everyday lives, like affordable power, access to water, reliability of power, things like being safe in the streets, knowing our kids are safe to go to school, bullying programs, waiting lists in hospitals. I mean, they're all things that are very important to me. And just as important, some of the issues that we don't see during election campaigns, like the future rights and liberties of our children, the future protection, whether or not we'll have our own farms producing the food that we eat. Should we be selling those farms? Should we be selling power? And I know they get pushed off as federal issues, but to me they're just as important. Having run both sides of the political spectrum, I think when it comes to issues like healthcare, I think that's probably should be on the top of everybody's list, with the demise of our healthcare system and the loss of investment, the loss of beds, and because of that, now if your child gets injured and you want to rush them to hospital because it's late at night, you could be waiting 8 to 10 hours, and I think that's unacceptable. And just recently I was in hospital and I had some issues of my own, and the staff there are worried about the future. They're worried about whether their pay structure will keep them in the state, and we keep losing people to interstate. And yes, we can replace them with 4, 5, 7 visa workers, but I think we should be training more and we should be paying them adequately to keep them here. And those are the things that I think are particularly pertinent. Power generation, look, going green's fantastic, but the fact is, what the government aren't telling you is that our power production's in disarray. The Pelican Point boilers are nearly stuffed, and those sorts of things have meant that baseload power generation's going offline, and the renewable sources are coming online, but they're not ready in terms of storage facilities to keep immediate power there for us all the time. And as a result of that, we bring in power from interstate and other sources and green sources which are expensive and unreliable, and that's something that needs to be addressed with that, and I have been trying for some years. The same with the markets we see here. Fresh produce is so important, and the fresh produce should be grown in Australia, and we should be eating it. And that's one of the reasons I've opened my own markets all through the north, and I make sure that everything's produced and sold is Australian made, and that creates jobs. It brings down the cost of living, which we're all struggling with at the moment, and so I do try and get out there and make change in the community as what I call a compassionate, I wouldn't call myself a leader, but a compassionate member of the community in which I wish to represent. And so I've put many years into trying to make things different. So look, I could talk for hours about what I'd like to see done, but I think what we need to do as a community is get together and work together and bring the representation back to the community. People like myself that aren't politicians, that are a part of the community and an active part of the community, sitting in Parliament, representing you, the people, and working with you to bring the very best for our state, for our country, and particularly my area of Salisbury where I grew up. So I'll keep some more updates while I'm sitting here having a coffee, and I'll post them up online later. Thank you.